In this video, we are going to show you a truth that most people don't know. A truth that has been hidden, ignored, and pushed aside. The fight between Donald Trump and Rosie O'Donnell was never just a joke. It was about power, lies, and one woman who dared to speak up. So watch till the end because what you will hear might change the way you see Trump and the people who protect him. Donald Trump has often said very rude things about women he does not like. He's called them names like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. When a reporter asked him about this, he replied, "Only Rosie O'Donnell." Now Rosie O'Donnell is back on live TV, but not just to be funny. This time she's telling the truth straight up. She said Donald Trump is a con man. He is gone bankrupt many times. He did not earn his money himself. He got it from his father. He is not a self-made billionaire. Even Forbes can't figure out how rich he really is. Rosie added, "All I did was speak the truth, but he reacted like I insulted his mother. He completely lost it. For the past 20 years, he has used me as punching bag. Every during his first presidential debate, when someone said he insulted women, he replied, 'Only Rosie O'Donnell.' This time, Rosie did not hold back. She said Trump is using his position for personal gain, selling things from the White House, taking gifts and money from foreign countries, and breaking serious laws like the Emoluments Clause. Still, no one is stopping him. She ended by saying, 'I don't believe that every Republican in Congress is stupid. They are not bad, but they are afraid of him.' People in America are afraid of Donald Trump. They are scared to speak up against him or challenging him. If you agree with Rosie or just want to know how deep this really goes, keep watching because it gets even more intense." Rosie looked straight at the camera and said it clearly. This is not just a scandal, it's a scam. According to her, Trump is not just bending the rules, he is using the US Constitution like a sales broker. Rules about foreign money and ethics. He acts like they don't matter. Rosie then asked a bold question that many Americans have been quietly thinking for years. Are all these politicians just letting it happen? Her answer, they are not stupid, they are just scared. But the part that really hits hard is what came next. She said he became president. Unbelievable. Rosie remembered how back in 2006, Trump was just a joke in New York. No one respected him. Forbes never listed him as one of the richest people because they could not confirm his income. He was often broke. He is a con man. She repeated. Period. For Rosie, the sad part is not just that Trump became president, it's how it happened. She believes reality TV trained people to trust a man who only pretend to be powerful on camera. Shows like The Apprentice did not just make him famous, they gave him a script. And when he started believing his own fake image, things went wrong. Rosie said she told the truth about Trump when others were too afraid, but what really made Trump angry, she believes, is that she pointed out things he never even tried to hide. Everyone just ignored them. When she finally said them out loud, she became the villain, not because she lied, but because she told the truth too early, too clearly, and too loudly. And the people who should have warned the public stayed silent. She even remembered Joy Behar once saying, "You are not going to say that out loud, are you?" Right before they went live on air, Trump had just finished a press event with Tara O'Connor, who was Miss Teen USA at the time. Rosie told a story about something she saw that really shocked her. A teenage girl named Tara O'Connor, who had won a title at one of Trump's pageants, was photographed kissing another girl in her village. That photo ended up on the front pages of newspaper. Instead of ignoring it, Trump made her do a public press conference where she apologized. Rosie said the whole scene made her uncomfortable. She said it looked like a pimp and a prostitute situation, and she really actually said that live on air. Then she continued by listing real facts about Trump. No exaggeration, just truths. She pointed out his long history of bankruptcies, unpaid debts, and shady business deal, Her main point was simple. But when a man with that kind of past tries to act like a moral judge, it's not really about forgiveness, it's about control. She was calling out the hypocrisy. Why was Trump acting like some kind of moral leader, deciding who deserved to be forgiven when his own acting were far worse? And when she said all this on live TV, that's when thing really exploded. Even on The View, the hosts used to joke that Trump changed his mind on everything except his hate for Rosie. The part stayed the same. Rosie remembered that day clearly. Trump had just done a press conference saying he forgave the young girl who was only 19. Rosie said, "Who is he to forgive her? Is he her pimp? Is she supposed to be ashamed? He is acting like the moral police for teenage behavior now." To Rosie, the whole situation felt completely backward. The man who spent years breaking rules and cheating people was now standing in front of cameras acting like a priest, handing out forgiveness like he was in charge of what's right and wrong. Rosie was not trying to shock anyone. She just wanted people to see the contradiction. Trump, a man with a long and questionable past, was acting like the moral voice of the nation. And as Rosie said, if it felt more like a pageant audition than a serious moment, you were not imagining it. Then she went deeper. Rosie said, "I want to talk about how it feels to have a corrupt sexual predator as the leader of the free world. For anyone who grew up in a home with an abusive man," she said, "this moment felt especially painful." But the part that really hit hard was what happened on the right. Trump actually won the election. Rosie did not just react, she fell apart. She later called it one of the darkest moments of her life. She said, "Since number 8, I have been in a deeper depression." For her, it was not just a bad day, it felt like her whole world changed. Still, Rosie being Rosie, she found a way to cope through humor. On a talk show, she joked about getting a tattoo of Bob Mueller, the special counsel investigating Trump, right over my heart. She said, "I love him." It was more than a joke, it was her way of holding on to top when reality feels completely upside down. Sometimes comedy is the only way to survive. She also remembered the first time Trump announced he was running. "I was laughing so hard," she said, "I thought it was a joke." She recalled him riding down that golden escalator with a fake cheering crowd, pretending everything was perfect. "Here's my wife who loves me," he said while she looked like she wanted to escape. To Rosie, that moment felt like a bad TV sitcom, not the beginning of a serious campaign. She truly believed it would never happen, but it did, and for her, it was like watching a nightmare come to life. Rosie laughed at Trump's campaign because it felt so ridiculous. But behind her laughter was real fear. She said it reminded her of the same worry she felt as a child during serious national crisis, like something bad was coming and no one could stop it. Before the election, she even asked a friend, "Do you think it will be safe for me to be there if he wins?" Her friend told her, "Rosie, stop being so negative. He is not going to win. Every smart person knows that." But Rosie was not convinced. That night, she thought, "I know what's coming. I can feel it." Everything Rosie has said in these interviews is backed up by public records, video clips, and confirmed news reports. But just when it seemed like the drama was over, Trump did what he always does. He made it personal again. At a time when scandals were growing around him, including whispers about Jeffrey Epstein and other controversies, instead of answering the public or giving fact, Trump went back to attacking Rosie. And this time, it was even more outrageous. He did not just insult her, he threatened to take away her citizenship. That's right, the President of the United States suggested stripping Rosie of her American citizenship. There was no legal reason, no law to support it, just another one of Trump's wild distractions. Political commentator Ana Navarro said it best, "This is not North Korea, this is not a monarchy. No president has the power to take away someone's citizenship." But Trump acted like he did. Whenever Trump was under pressure, he would find someone to attack, not with facts, with drama. And Rosie was always an easy target. Why? Because for Trump, starting a personal fight was the perfect distraction. When the news got too serious, he had say something weird like, "Let's invade Greenland," or "We might bomb Iran," just enough noise to make people forget the real issues. And this time, that something crazy was Rosie again. Not because she was a threat, but because she was familiar. And in Trump's word, nothing covers up a crisis like an old enemy and a fresh press conference full of drama. Trump once posted on social media that he was thinking about taking away Rosie O'Donnell's US citizenship. He called her a threat to humanity and said she should stay in Ireland. It sounded more like a distraction than a real plan, especially with all the serious scandals around him being ignored. Jon Stewart joked that this is how Trump handles crises, by causing drama online. But the truth is, Rosie is a natural-born American citizen. Ana Navarro reminded everyone, being born in Long Island in 1962 means no one can take her citizenship away, no matter how angry the president gets. You can't just erase someone's right because your feelings are hurt. All Rosie did was speak the truth. She pointed out that Trump got his money from his dad, went bankrupt several times, and never proved how rich he really is. These were all facts. But for 20 years, Trump has gone after her with insults and threats just for saying them out loud. Why? Because some truths hits harder than any scandal. While Rosie calmly speaks facts, Trump's team keep changing the topic, trying to distract his followers. As Whoopi joked, they are throwing out wild ideas like it's bingo night at Mar-a-Lago. Rosie also blamed the media. Back in 2006, she said it was easy to find bad things about Trump online, yet major news outlets did not talk about it. They were scared or too busy making money off the drama. Trump was bad for America, she said, but good for rating. Then Rosie went even further, talking about Trump's health. She pointed to swelling in his ankles, bruises, and his strange spray tan. She said his once claimed to be super healthy, but now even his body is showing signs of decline. She joked that Trump edits picture of himself to look like Superman, but in reality, he is the opposite. He lives in a cartoon world, she said, and the cartoon version might actually be more real than the man himself. Rosie still loves her country. I was born and raised in America, she said, and I want to keep my citizenship. But she also got Irish to citizenship and moved to Ireland, not because of politics, but to protect her mental health. When home starts to feel like a bad TV show, you can't escape, she said. Sometimes you just have to leave. She believes the real problem is not just Trump, it's the silence around him. A Supreme Court that lets him do anything, a Senate that looks the other way. That's when Rosie reached her breaking point. She joked that now she is a citizen and over 35. She could run for president. Me and Conor McGregor, but then she added, I am too emotional for politics. In the end, Rosie saw what was coming. They always go after the vulnerable first. She said, disabled people, LGBTQ plus people, I had to protect myself. For her, moving to Ireland was not running away, it was survival. Rosie may joke about running for president with Conor McGregor, but she is clear. Politics is not for her. She says she is too emotional, but maybe that's what makes her voice so powerful. She does not run for office, but she still speaks the truth, especially when it comes to Trump's cruelty towards vulnerable groups like the LGBTQ plus and trans community. Rosie is not chasing power, she is standing up to how it's being abused in a world where Trump uses threats and distractions to silence criticism. Rosie's honesty might be the most presidential thing of all. From the moment she called him out on TV to the day he threatened to take her citizenship, their long-running feud became bigger than just two people. It became political. What started as one comment turned into years of name-calling, press drama, lawsuits, and over-the-top moments, even separate and jokes. Through it all, Rosie held up a mirror to Trump's lies and cruelty. She exposed the truth even when it cost her, and maybe that's what this really is. A woman with a microphone and a man who can't stand hearing the truth. This video shares that live TV moment when Rosie publicly criticized Donald Trump and how it grew into a major story. Everything shown is based on real footage and trusted news sources, no exaggeration, just facts. This video follows all of YouTube's rules and fair use policy for political commentary and public interest reporting. If you found this interesting, hit subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.